Good morning, friends. Today, we are going to see database normalization. You might have read in web about normalization and various levels of normalization, like first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. It may go up to like 7, 8, 11 normal forms. Different people have different definitions. You might have read about that. But I am trying to give you a very simplistic understanding of the normalization, database normalization. What is a normalization? It is a set of rules to allocate data to tables in such a way as to minimize the redundancy and to minimize certain anomalies related to insert, delete, and update of data. Like, for example, an insertion anomaly. An insertion anomaly is a failure to place information into all places in the database. Similarly, deletion anomaly, similarly, update anomaly. Let's deep dive into it. So, again, we will repeat that. And normalization is the process of organizing data to minimize the data redundancy, data duplication, which in turn ensures data consistency. Let's take a look at it. For example, a table is said to be in first normal form if the data in each column is atomic. Atomic in the sense, no multiple values in one cell. It contains only one value, not multi-values like arrays. The tables does not contain any repeating column groups. Identity of each record.
Multiple values means, what do you mean here?
Like, for example, a customer name is the column name. In the customer name field, if you enter Ravi, Anthony, Raj, that is not permitted. That is against cards database rules, cards 12 rules of a relational database, and against the database normalization. So in customer name column, you should have only one entry, like Ravi is one entry, and then the next record consists of Anthony, next record consists of Raj. In one record itself, you cannot have Ravi, Anthony, Raj.
Okay, thank you.
That is not permitted. Okay, so assume that you have a table with two columns, two column headers. One column name is department name, another column name is employee. So one of the value is, one of the record is, the first record department name is ID, and then employee name says Sam, Mike, Sean. The second record is HR, department name is HR, and employee column is Pam. So what is the problem in this setup? In this setup, if you look at the first record, the employee column consists of three values, multi-valued. So when you select the data, there is an issue.
Now, could you please hover your cursor where you're talking?
Yeah.
Where do we have this department name employee? Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, department name. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, what happens is when you select the data, you always select all the three values. So even you cannot select only one value. If you want to select only Sam, you cannot do that, because whenever you do a select query, you select all the three. Then whenever you want to insert, then also it's an issue. Whenever you want to update, you cannot update Sam into somebody else. And delete also. You cannot delete only one person. You will have to delete everybody. So that is the insertion anomaly, update anomaly, and deletion anomaly. So how do you avoid that? What you can do is you increase the number of columns like this: department name, employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3. And then insert Sam into these column cells. So now if you see, instead of 2 columns, now we have 4 columns in the table: department name, employee 1, employee 2, employee 3. The first record consists of IT as a department name, and then Sam in employee 1, Mike in employee 2, and Sean in employee 3. And the next record is HR as a department name, Pam is the employee name. This satisfies the cards rules, like 12 cards rule, relation database, perfectly okay. But from the normalization perspective, if you look at this one, you see this employee header, employee name is redundant. It's coming again and again and again. Similarly, if you take a salary, like my monthly salary, like Jan, February, March, April, then what happens is you will have to insert 12 columns like a Jan salary, February salary, March salary, like that. So it is redundant repeating groups. It's called repeating groups. How do you avoid that? Now, split the
Now,
table into
one
two.
question, Ravi. Okay.
Yeah,
In the first step, you explained about the three values, Sam, Mike, and Shan, right?
multi-value.
On the top of the table, I see non-atomic employee column. So what do you mean by non-atomic and atomic? Could you please explain that one so that I can
So
understand that?
atomic means if you have only one value in a column.
Okay.
Non-atomic means you have multiple values.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So how do you avoid this kind of repeating groups? You split the table into two. Now, the first table is, now you have to always, whenever you split the table or create a new table, always go for the primary key. You assume a primary key. You can assign a primary key. Now we are assigning a department. You split the table into two. One table is department table, another table is employee table. And the first table, department table primary key is department ID, and department name is a column. So if you look at here, there are two departments, IT department and HR department. We are assigning IDs for that. ID 1 is IT department, ID 2 is HR department. Now, if you look at the employee table, the employee is the column name, and then you are connecting, you are establishing the relationship between the department table and then the employee table. That means the primary key of the employee table, department table is migrating to the employee table as a foreign key. So we are establishing a relationship. Now, what happens if you refer back to above table? In IT department, there are three employees. In IT department, what is the primary key of the IT department? Primary key is 1. So department ID is 1, Sam. Department ID is 1, Mike. Department ID is 1, Sean. If you look at the HR department, the primary key is 2, so the foreign key is 2, and then the PAM. In this way, what happens is you split the table into two. What is the advantage? The advantage is now if you select, you can select only one value. If you want to select Sam, you can select, you can update Sam, you can delete Sam, whatever you want to do, you can do it. That is the advantage of normalization. So the primary focus of the normalization is to reduce the redundancy. That is the focus. That's how the normalization level 1, first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, all are used. So any logical data model should be designed at the third normal form. If you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to me. We can discuss.
Now,
Thank you
one
very much.
question, Ravi. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct me if I am wrong. Okay. Now, like to start with, you're given 3 points here, 1, 2, and 3, right? The data in each column should be atomic. So earlier it was Sam, Mike, Shan. Now
Yes.
in your current structure, you have only two tables, department and as well as department employee, where we do not find any multiple values. So the first rule is
Yes.
satisfied. And the second rule is you are saying that it should not contain any repeating column groups.
Repeating
Okay.
groups.
In the earlier table, you mentioned that, okay, employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, these are three different groups. And the final
Yes.
one, you don't have that employee groups at all. So rule number 2 is also satisfied. And
Yes.
rule number 3 is identify each record uniquely using primary key. So for
Yes.
department, you created the primary key. And for similarly, that associative table department employee, you created two primary keys and joined that table. Am I right, Ravi?
Yes. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Feel free, if you want to learn more about data modeling, feel free to reach out to me and Anthony. We can discuss about this. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.